I am not holding back today. Grab your tea, get comfortable, because we're diving deep into something that's been sitting heavy on my chest. I'm so tired of seeing way too many black women out here behaving like buck broken. Brenda's straight up betraying other black women, co-signing mess that tears us down, all while auditioning for black men's approval like it's a full-time job with benefits. They're out here defending, excusing, and cheering on the very behavior that disrespects and devalues us as a collective, trying so hard to win points in a game where they will never, ever be the prize. It's exhausting, it's embarrassing, and it's downright dangerous. Let me paint the picture for you real quick with this clip I had to pull up. Sound is off for copyright reasons, but you can clearly see Kirk Frost and Rasheeda singing along to R. Kelly's Your Body's Calling. She's over there giggling, saying something like they gonna get you, and Kirk is hyping it up, talking about how R. Kelly is the best. And what does Rasheeda do? She agrees, saying his music is still great, like the man's catalog outweighs everything else. Now let me ask you this, sis, why? Why do some black women allow themselves and other black women to be so deeply devalued and dismissed? R. Kelly wasn't just accused. This man was convicted. Convicted of racketeering, sex trafficking, and producing child abuse material. We're talking about a long, ugly pattern that stretched from allegations in 1991 all the way to 2018. That's nearly 27 years of harming black women and black girls. Federal trials, witnesses, evidence, the whole nine. He used his fame like a trap, luring young girls and women into abusive situations, controlling them, exploiting them. And yet here we have a grown woman on camera jamming to his music like it's just a harmless vibe. And let's be clear, Rasheeda is a boy mom, but she also has a stepdaughter in the mix. What would possess her to be out here singing a straight-up sexual song from a man who wrote his own lyrics about the very things he was later convicted for doing to minors? It boggles the mind. This is exactly why I get so heated when I see pick-me behavior at this level. Make no mistake, Rasheeda is a premium, Omega-level pick-me woman, period. Her black male worship has gotten her absolutely nothing but public humiliation, side babies, and a marriage that looks shiny on the surface but has been filled with disrespect for decades. She's become the poster girl for accepting mess and still smiling through it. We already know from reports and their own timeline that Rasheeda started dating Kirk when she was still in high school. She was around 17, he was 24. They got married in 1999 when she was 23 and he was 30. Some folks have pushed back on the exact ages, but the power imbalance was there early. Birds of a feather flock together, right? So it's no surprise Kirk doesn't seem bothered by R. Kelly's history. But my real problem isn't just with her taste in music. It's the message it sends. When you fully know that certain men prey on black women and black girls, and you still choose to support them, defend them, or separate the art from the monster, you're telling black men loud and clear, your behavior isn't that serious. It's not that bad. No matter how many of us you hurt, there will always be some miserable, male-centered mammy ready to ride for you, make excuses, and keep the streams going. And what's even crazier, so many black women will stand 10 toes down behind black men and black boys even when they commit horrific acts of violence against us. Take that heartbreaking story of the young boys, ages 12, 13, and 15, who assaulted a 12-year-old girl so violently they put rocks in her mouth. When they got locked up, instead of the community rallying around the little girl who was violated, you had family members calling her fast, trying to get the boys out of jail, and talking about not ruining their futures. They cared more about protecting the abusers than protecting the victim. That's the energy we're dealing with. Black men rarely keep that same energy when black girls and women are the ones harmed. Think about it. If a black woman was out here harming black men and boys on any kind of scale, what do you think their response would be? They would want her head on a platter. No forgiveness, no he changed, no separate the art. They stand on business. Look at Megan Thee Stallion. She wasn't even doing anything wrong except speaking up and acknowledging that a black man with a known history of violence had harmed her. And what happened? Black men turned on her viciously and have dragged her ever since for daring to open her mouth and tell her truth. They don't play when it comes to their own protection. Or remember Cardi B. She's not black, but she moves in these spaces. Years ago, she admitted to drugging and robbing men. To this day, whenever her name comes up, you see certain black men saying don't support her. She harmed men, boycott her music. They don't make excuses. They don't say, but the beats are fire though. No, when it touches them, it's serious. They don't separate the artist from the actions. But when it's us, suddenly it wasn't that bad. He didn't mean it. The girl's parents failed them by letting them chase stardom. For R. Kelly. Some folks still claim it was all a setup or that the victims wanted it. They make every excuse. Cassie was probably stealing. That's why he beat her in the hallway. Chris Brown has changed, even while colorist comments and new allegations swirl. We forgive, we stream, we defend, and in doing so, we tell the world that harming black women and black girls is a forgivable offense with no real consequences. This permissive, protective nature toward men who harm us, whether black men or others, is a huge part of why black women and girls in the United States experience some of the highest rates of homicide and various forms of violence compared to other racial groups. Data shows black women are murdered at a rate 6 times higher than white women on average. In some states, like Wisconsin, it's as high as 20 times higher. These aren't just numbers. They're our sisters, our daughters, our friends. And far too often, the violence comes from intimate partners or people within the community. If we don't take our own trauma seriously, why would the world? Why would black men? Why would anyone? We cannot keep giving passes, redemption arcs, and second chances while our bodies, our safety, and our peace are treated like they're disposable. We have to flip the script. The harm done to black women and black girls needs to become completely non-negotiable. No more support. No more streams. No more, but he makes good music. No more defending abusers because he's still family, or he's a good dad otherwise. If you hurt us, if you violate us, you get exposed, you get dragged, and you fall to the wayside, never to be platformed or praised again by us. Period. Seeing Rasheeda in that clip really set me off, especially because this isn't her first time showing where her loyalties lie. Remember when she downplayed K. Michelle's views allegations against Memphis? She questioned it, defended him as a friend, even wrote open letters basically calling K. Michelle's claims over the top. Then, not too long after, everyone saw how unhinged and abusive that man acted on camera with Toya. The mask slipped. Rasheeda had to walk some of it back later, claiming she apologized, but the damage was done. It showed her pattern, protecting men first, always. Her whole identity seems tied up in having a man and keeping a marriage, even when that marriage has been one long parade of humiliation. Side babies, public cheating scandals, Kirk asking for a DNA test on a child, and she still stayed. Imagine your husband stepping out, creating a whole side baby, then having the audacity to demand a DNA test like you're the suspect. And then you take it, get the results, and choose to stay in that circus anyway. It's sad. It's clownish on a Pennywise level. Black men, and men in general, will sit back and watch you demean yourself, tolerate disrespect, and shrink yourself for their comfort, all well knowing if the shoe was on the other foot. They would never let you play in their face like that. They protect their image and their ego at all costs. I truly believe more black women need to wake up and see that this male-centered, pick-me behavior is only harming us and the next generation of our daughters. It teaches them that their worth is tied to how much abuse or disrespect they can endure for a man. It normalizes violence. It keeps the cycle going. We deserve better. We deserve to value ourselves and each other enough to make harm against us a hard line in the sand. No negotiations, no excuses, no coming back from it. If you watched this whole thing and felt that fire too, let me know in the comments. Drop your honest thoughts, your experiences, your frustrations. I really love hearing from y'all because we're stronger when we talk about this openly. And if you're tired of the same old patterns, start holding the line in your own life and circles. Protect Black women and girls like your future depends on it, because it does. That's all I got for today, ladies. Stay woke, stay protected, and remember, we rise when we stop tearing each other down for them.